Hi, everyone. My name is Denise Walsh, and I'm super excited coming at you tonight, the day before Thanksgiving, to talk about something that is kind of talked about a lot before Thanksgiving, but I think people don't quite understand the deeper notion behind it. And that, my friends, is gratitude. Yeah, you hear Thanksgiving and giving thanks and 90 days of gratitude and all these things like circling around a lot throughout this time of year. And what we've learned over the past decade of our, not only our entrepreneurship journey, our personal development journey, but now our guest is actually, let me make sure I get this right. She is becoming a doctor of natural medicine and is in a quantum integrative medicine. So there's like reasons behind the reasons why gratitude is so important. So without further ado, I would love to introduce, I'm going to call her Dr. Imagination, Miss Carla Burns.
Oh, I love it. Hey, Denise, thank
I
you.
know that was a really long,
Yeah.
but I'm so excited about this topic because I think, Carla, I was the same way. I threw around the idea of gratitude. I saw quotes, right? Super cute quotes, but I didn't understand the deeper essence of why gratitude is such an integral part of who we are and how that actually impacts our world. So I'd love for you to just introduce yourself a little bit, and then we'll talk about gratitude spiritually, gratitude scientifically, and how it actually changes who we are.
Awesome. Well, you did a great introduction. I'm Carla, and yeah, we've known each other for like over 12 years now, and so this is the perfect evening before Thanksgiving to talk about gratitude and how important it really is, and really, when you think about gratitude and thankfulness, there is actually a difference because you can say thank you without feeling grateful. So there is a difference. So it's again like you and I always talk about getting it from your head to your heart. With gratitude, it's exact same thing. Head is thank you. It's almost like a programmed training that when you're a kid you're taught say please and thank you. So it's more of a conditioning where gratitude wells up from your heart, and this is something that you not only feel, but yes, it is firing different ways in your brain, but also when you're with someone and you say thank you, just programmed, you can tell the difference when someone says thank you, I appreciate it so much. It's a heart change.
Yeah, that's really interesting to think about because you're right. We can say it off the cuff and willy-nilly or quickly, but there's a difference when you feel grateful and it's like overwhelming and overflowing out of you. Other people notice that too. So, what does feeling grateful do within our bodies?
Right. So that's like endorphins. So if you know those are the feel good hormones. So it's sending off, firing all of the right chemicals that literally it not only uplifts you, it will boost your immune system. So it has to do with it. It's really all centered around your heart and keeping your heart open to people. Because when you keep your heart open, that is the area that really, your immunity, how you receive people, how you react to people. So it's all based around that heart feeling. So it is different than when you just say, people have asked, what are you thankful for? And then, you could write out a list of, 10 to 100 things that you're thankful for, but you're doing the mechanism of it. So it doesn't it doesn't trigger those same hormones. It's actually using a different side of your brain because you're being methodical about it.
Versus when you are feeling grateful, like on a deeper level, it triggers the endorphins, it triggers feel good hormones, it triggers the different side of the brain. So what side of the brain does that trigger when you're actually heart focused about it?
Right. So this is the love and the creativity and the nurturing. So this is different than that state of your brain when you are just doing something like in a pattern or a habit.
Right, right. Okay. So it sounds like you're unlocking more of the right brain capabilities,
Mhm.
the creativity, the feelings, the love, the joy, and kind of that inner childlike faith that we talk quite a bit about. So tell me how gratitude can bring me back some of that childlike faith that sometimes as adults we miss.
Right. So when you're truly grateful, you become aware and you notice little things. And little things will not, so it works both ways. If little things used to bother you, but you're really grateful about little things like, what's something small? So every morning I get up and I have the most amazing coffee machine. And I'm so thankful for that coffee machine.
She really does, you guys.
Yeah.
It really is great.
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
And I mean, it's little things like that. And so, I mean, even tonight, it's dark out now, so I couldn't really see as well, and so I like have some glasses. So I'm like, oh, thank you, I have my glasses. So I was rooting around trying to find them, and I found them, and so that's another moment to be thankful, like really truly grateful for that opportunity. It sounds silly, but and other ways, I go for a walk in the morning, and I notice things that a grateful, thankful person will notice. So I'm walking, I see the trees, I see the beautiful sky, I notice little birds that are together, maybe they're with their mom, and it's like a whole it's just a different attitude about life itself, because you're grateful for every moment. It's not a, it's different than thankful. It's different than saying, oh, thank you, Lord, for today. But yes, we say thank you, but really noticing.
So when it goes from your head to your heart, when it goes from a word to a feeling,
Right.
your eyes are open in a way that they might not otherwise be. And we kind of call it childlike faith because you see
Mhm.
the wonder in the world, you see the greatness in the world, you see all that's going well
Right.
rather than the adult
Mhm.
anxious, left brain, like logical what ifs, like all of the things that an adult brain might
Yeah.
be focusing on. Guess what, you guys? The birds are always there. Sometimes we see them, sometimes we don't. And gratitude is a way to open up that heart space so we see what's going well in our life, well in the world, and it shifts our perspective, doesn't it?
It does, and I love that you just said that we notice what's going right. So a grateful heart notices the positive. It notices the opportunities. It notices the little things and the big things. Gratitude will give you a bigger vision, because the more you're grateful for, the more you're going to have to be grateful for. So yeah, gratitude. When I write my journals of my vision and my dreams, I write it in a tense of gratitude. So it starts with thank you. Thank you for this that happened, or thank you for these things that are coming into my life, or thank you for bringing these people. It's always thank you,
Mm-hmm.
with the real gratitude, like a humble thank you, that like I know I don't deserve this on my own. Thank you, Lord, for giving it to me, because you can.
Yeah. It
Mm-hmm.
makes me think of a couple of things, Carla. We talk about this all the time in our leadership retreats, but
Mm-hmm.
when it goes from your head to your heart, when it goes from I want to I am, when it goes from a thought to a feeling, something shifts. And we often say if your dreams don't match with your belief, like you can't, like it doesn't work, right? And
Mm-hmm.
gratitude is a way to open up your heart space and create a bigger vision, create that bigger belief. So that way your head and your heart match and you start to see kind of the how
Mm-hmm.
showing up in your path.
Right. Yeah. So it's the same as when we ask the question, what do you want? What do you really want? So you can think of 50 different things that you might want for Christmas or that you might just want in general, but what do you really want? What do you desire? So what you want and what you desire, again, it's two different things. What you want will come from your head, and what you desire will come from your heart. So what you are thankful for will come from your head, and what you are grateful for comes from your heart.
So good. So good. And another thing this reminds me of is we talk about the reticular activating system, which is like a psychology term for you become what you think about. You see what you create what you command in a sense. Like your reticular activating system is your body's way to filter, your brain's way to filter what's going on in the world. And it decides what's important to you based on how you're thinking. So, like you mentioned, if you're not feeling grateful, like if you're feeling grouchy and you're going for that walk in the morning, the birds might still be singing and they might be so cute with their mom and they might have a little worm. But because your reticular activating system is in a state of grouchiness, it's filtering your world in a different perspective, you don't even notice it.
Right.
So when you're feeling that gratitude and you're thinking those grateful thoughts and it's all kind of in alignment, your world does shift scientifically because of the reticular activating system pointing out different types of things that are going on in your world.
Right. And you will notice even after this call that I've gone for a walk with people that will notice dead trees. Like literally they'll be like, "Oh, the tree died." And I'm like, "I never even noticed that the dead tree. Why are you noticing the dead tree?" There's like 15 that are full bloom. Why don't you see that one? So, that says a lot what people notice.
That is interesting. It is. So, you guys, you can kind of think to yourself, what do I see in the world? And then how can I shift that to see the blooming trees? And it starts with shifting it here in your heart. Is there anything else that's going on physiologically in our bodies when we choose to be grateful?
Well, when we choose to be grateful, nothing else really going on in our bodies. But when we choose to not be grateful, this is when we get into habits. So you talked about that reticular activating system. It's kind of like a GPS, but you program it. And once you lock something in, then it's like when you say, I don't know, you see a white BMW, and then your brain is like white BMW, white BMW. So you constantly repeat the same things. Or like your personality, you wake up, you do the same thing every day. So that activating system points you in the direction to keep you doing exactly what you do every single day, unless you do something to reprogram it. So you literally have to almost shock it, put it in an environment that it's never been before, so that it's like, wait, what's going on? We have to reprogram, recalculate. You know how the GPS says recalculate, go the other way. So, yeah, that's what you can do when you are grateful. So, every time you're grateful, you reroute your internal GPS system.
I love that analogy. And then you can create new habits that are taking you in the direction that you desire. And that's really one reason why in the Dream Life Daily Journal, I have a new gratitude game every single day, because we want to get in this habit of connecting with our heart and opening up our reticular activating system to see what is working in the world. So we shift our perspective each and every day.
Yeah, my good friend Dr. Leaf, she describes it as like tree branches in your brain. So when you're feeding negativity, ungratefulness, not being thankful, complaining, that is a number one sign that you are not grateful, is when you're complaining. Because if you're complaining about something, then you're not happy that you have it. So complaining is like feeding the wrong side of the tree, and it literally dies. Those neurons in your brain, they're dying. So they need positive words, and they need grateful feelings and feelings of love towards other people. And so that will make those neurons bloom. And as the old ones die off, then you'll replace that. So you want to, and it, in the end, it really is the health of your brain. So she's done all kinds of medical research on this, of what happens to a positive, loving, grateful mind, what's literally happening inside the structure of your brain to keep you healthy.
It is so interesting when you understand how the layers of that go into the word we throw around so simply. Gratitude, thanksgiving, it impacts us at a cellular level. It impacts us at a neurological level it impacts our brain health. And then it even impacts the world we see all around us. Now, I want to mention one exercise I did with my boys. This was a couple years ago now, this apple experiment. And it was pretty interesting. So we took 2 apples and we wrote positive words on a piece of paper like underneath, and we put 1 apple on the positive word paper. And then we wrote all these negative words like lazy, and we don't want you anyway, and you have worms in you, you apple, and you're gross, stuff like that. And we put the other apple on that piece of paper, and we put them on 2 different sides of the room. And then once a day, my boys and I would go to 1 apple and we would say, "You are beautiful. We are so glad to have you in our home, apple. You have a beautiful green color. You're delicious," all of that. And then we would say the negative words to the negative apple. And after a week of doing this, we cut both of them in half. And at first, I didn't notice anything too different. Went back out of the room. About 10 minutes later, came back in, and the negative apple was already completely yellow and like dead. And the other one, the positive apple, was white, and it had not started to bruise. It had not started to, how apples do that. And I was floored because it's like good to be positive, but then when you realize the power of your words and how it impacts everything around us, man, we'll think twice about complaining, right? And we'll be more intentional about being grateful throughout the rest of the year as well.
Right. So you're kind of, what's coming to my mind is, even in different cultures, the words you mentioned, the words that you use, but also the gestures and your body language. So I'm thinking of, my friends internationally, when they're very grateful, and you can feel it from them. So a thank you is a hug. You get a hug with a thank you, or you get a kiss on both cheeks, sometimes 3 times, depending on which country you're in. But also, if you give someone a gift and they take it, it's almost like they're embracing that gift. It's not just like, "Oh, okay, thanks," and then set it down. But they're really taking care to make sure that you notice that they're very appreciative of whatever it is. It could be big, small, doesn't matter. It could be a card, but it's like the body language of it too. You can tell how a person is receiving the gift that you're giving them. So when you give a gift also, or receive a gift, you want to give it with your heart. So, I'm not the best person at buying cards for people. Sometimes I forget to buy the card, and I'm just one of those. But I like to, when I like to find the perfect card. So I don't just run in the store, grab any card. I like read 50 different cards until I find the perfect card, because I want to express my gratitude, or whatever it is for the special occasion, from my heart. And so that's another example of taking the time. So I noticed that grateful people, they're also like giving. They like to share because they're so grateful for what they have. They feel other people should have it too. So I noticed that very grateful people are very giving people.
When I think of somebody who's grateful, I think of someone who's overflowing with that, like you mentioned, heart-focused love and holding on to things lightly. Yeah. They're not clenched up and angry or frustrated or overwhelmed. It's kind of like, whatever happens, they're just much more free.
Yeah.
And you can feel that they're in a place of presence as well. They're like fully here right now. I think that's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what are you grateful for?
Oh, good question. I think that I have a gratitude partner, and we text each other every morning what we're grateful for. And today I am seriously just grateful that my mom lives close by, and we went to Costco and we got all the Thanksgiving stuff. I'm grateful for her help and her companionship. I'm grateful for my boys and Brandon, who got to be home and work from home today, and just the flexibility of our family. We just feel so much love in our home because of that time freedom that I'm like so grateful for that. And so tomorrow we've got more family coming over, and it really is just about making memories. And when I think of all of the things that are important to me, it's really the memories, the games, the laughing. Like, that's so much fun to me. So Carla, what about you? What are you heart focused grateful for?
Yeah, so, similar with me, I have my whole family is here, and I'm grateful that they all can be. My parents just arrived from Canada. My brother lives close by. They're all coming over for dinner tomorrow. But I think a moment of gratitude that I really felt last night is when we put the tree up. And my kids were there, so we're all just sitting close to each other, looking at the lights on the tree, and just taking in the moment. I'm grateful for the time that we have those special moments, and that they actually want to be with us. Our kids actually want to be around us and hang out and experience that. And that we still just we play games, and we just do fun stuff. So yeah, we all work hard, but I'm grateful that we realize the importance of just keeping the main thing the main thing.
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, it really is all about community relationships and feeling connected to other people. And I love that when we slow down enough in our busy everyday life, and we are heart open enough to enjoy those relationships, we really can laugh a lot, dance a lot, create lots of memories. Well, you guys, we're going to ask you right now, what are you grateful for? Post it in the comments. And before you answer, don't just give us what you're thankful for off the cuff answer, but ask yourself, what am I emotionally grateful for? What am I emotionally connected to? And how can my heart be open in the season of gratitude to just see the world differently and shift my perspective, so that way I'm firing up my endorphins and my trees and neurons are growing and blooming in my head, and I'm setting my internal GPS to take me in a direction that I desire. And Carla, I have a lot of gratitude and excitement for the future. So sometimes I'll write letters about the future, like you mentioned, thank you for, and just emotionally connect to things that I'm excited that I want to happen. It's like, what do you want? Well, let's talk about it like it's already happening. And we're setting ourselves, our future, our vision on fire by using gratitude as a tool for that. So grateful for the future, but right now, being here in the present, that's the best place to be. So anything else you want to add?
Oh, that's it. I just have a happy Thanksgiving. Spend every moment noticing all of the little things to be grateful for, and you'll be surprised. Once you start noticing the little things, we have so much to be grateful for.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you for your wisdom and all of the hard work you've put into learning all about this so you can teach it to us. We really appreciate it. You guys who are listening, thank you for tuning in. Post what you're grateful for down below. Share some of this knowledge with your family, and we pray that you notice all the grateful things in your world today too. Bye, guys.
Bye.